Good afternoon. I'm Margaret Murchison with the noon news, brought to you Monday through Friday at this time by Central Electric Membership Corporation.
I'm here today with.
Scott Mason with WRAL TV in Raleigh.
So, Scott, what brings you to the big city of Sanford, North Carolina?
Yeah, we're doing a profile on Margaret Murchison, the reporter here, newscaster here, who is really a radio pioneer.
Okay, yeah, I'm doing a video on her also. It's going to be called All the Places She Goes. So, I want you to tell me some of the things that you know about Margaret and just have some fun time. And I'm going to step out of the camera, okay?
Great. Well, I'm not sure if Margaret really goes places, but what she does, she has the uncanny ability to take so many listeners to places by merely reading the news and telling people what's going on in the world. You know, she's been here in Sanford since 1978. She really is a radio pioneer. She has broken ground on so many fronts. Back in the 70s, you know, very few women were even on the radio, much less African American women. So she really broke ground not just in Lee County, but really nationwide.
I'm here today with.
Robert Meikle, WRAL TV. Work
Yeah.
with Scott Mason, Tar Heel Traveler.
So, Robert, what brings you to the big city of Sanford, North Carolina?
Well, we come down here to interview Margaret, a local statewide legend. Been in broadcasting, gosh, probably longer than anybody I know.
Yeah, she's been in a long time. She has so many wonderful stories, and Scott was talking to her earlier about some of her stories. Can you think of anything that you remember doing any shows about Margaret?
Well, yeah, I mean, she's a great news person. It's fun to listen to her. It's very easy to listen to. And, you know, she's full of a lot of information, and she transitions all her information. You know, it's just easy to listen to. And some of the stories that she said, you know, during the protest when she was young versus what the protests are now, you know, and the difference between what was then and what was now, back when she had no rights to do and she was protesting, and now today people have rights and they're protesting. And, you know, nobody wants to agree with the violence that we're seeing, but it's just an interesting message about the difference of protesting when you have rights and when you don't have rights. You know, and she was there early on with the struggle. You know, it sinks home, you know, that what she was going through back then. See, it really seems to me to mean more than a protest today that turns violent.
Yeah, and you know, and by Margaret being around so long, she always can give some good professional advice.
She is. She's good. She's, you know, she's been there. She's done that, and she still likes doing it.
And finally, no matter what you plan to do for this 4th of July holiday period, please remember the 3 W's. Wear a cloth mask when out. Also, wash your hands frequently and watch your distance. You've been listening to the Noon News, brought to you Monday through Friday at this time by Central Electric Membership Corporation, a Touchstone Energy cooperative. For Sanford's #1 news team, I'm Margaret Murchison.
And she's also a good friend of mine, Gilbert Bays, out of Fayetteville, and he has some wonderful things to say about her also. So, can you think of something real fun that you could say about Margaret today?
Well, Margaret has actually helped me a lot. We have stayed in touch. You know, I first interviewed Margaret more than a decade ago, and we stayed in touch. And every so often, she sends me story ideas from the Sanford area. And whenever I get those notes and story suggestions from Margaret, I always pay attention to them because they are always good stories. It never fails. And I always follow up on the ideas she gives me. So she is a great, great resource. And in the business that I do, you know, I'm a television reporter myself in the broadcasting industry. You always want to have those good contacts. You want to develop those good contacts because they, of course, lead to stories. And Margaret has definitely been a fantastic contact for me.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think one of the one of the best stories I did with Margaret was when she was interviewing Governor Hunt. So that was a really good story because, you know, like Governor Hunt, he's not going to disappear. He's just everywhere. So it's always fun when I do an interview with Margaret and Governor Hunt. So that's really cool.
Well, you think about all the people she's known and has met over the years. I'm sure she, and it's from celebrities and lawmakers to the man on the street. I mean, and I think she's comfortable with everybody. And that's one of the secrets of being a good broadcaster, is developing that rapport with everybody, from the farmer to the politician.
Oh yeah. Speaking of politicians, she always does a fantastic interview with our local Robert Reeves II. So that's really cool too, and especially when Robert Reeves II have his birthday party, have a big crowd. Sometimes Margaret even sing happy birthday to him.
Well, one thing I must say about Margaret is her voice, her distinctive voice. In broadcasting, it's important to have a good voice, a distinctive voice. I've been in the broadcasting business for coming up on 40 years, and I can't tell you how many news directors and assistant news directors have said, God, your voice is terrible. You'll never make it. You need to go to voice school. But of course, what I do now in the feature reporting, it really works. Well, by the same token, Margaret has that kind of a scratchy, gravelly, baritone voice, but it really works. It really works across all realms, with the hard news and even the softer news, and you pay attention to it, I think. I think that's really one of her gifts, is not just in writing, and she's a great writer and a great storyteller and broadcaster, but it's her voice, the way she delivers the news. It really is a gift that she has.
Oh yeah. Like even this morning, when I came in to interview Margaret, because I interview her all the time, and she's always looking like a Miss North Carolina. And so today when I came in, she had her hair changed in a different style. I said, "Oh, Margaret, you're going from Miss North Carolina to Miss America. Now you're Miss Universe." So she's just a fantastic person to work around with.
She really is. And you have to have a sense of humor in this business, because it's so rush all the time, and you're dealing with, at times some grisly stories, murders and car wrecks and that kind of thing. And you do, I think, have to have a sense of humor, and she definitely does.
Oh yeah, I tell you, she's just a wonderful person. So I'm going to step out the camera, and then I'm going to let you do the little closing part.
Okay.
Whatever you want to say. And it's been a pleasure meeting you.
Good to see you.
Okay,
yes.
Thank you so very much.
Well, great. Well, just to summarize, Margaret Murchison is a true broadcasting pioneer, been here in Lee County since 1978, delivering the news on the air to thousands of listeners all over the region. And she is a pioneer in the fact that, back then in the 70s, when she first came on board, there were very few females in the broadcasting industry, much less African American females. So she has paved the way for many, many others who then followed. Margaret, congratulations. Keep at it. Keep delivering the news in that fantastic voice of yours.